Okay, let's talk about matrix operations. A matrix is an array of numbers and or letters with brackets at the beginning and end of the array. So it looks something like that. And we'll have stuff going on inside. The size, dimension, or order, and keep in mind that all three of those mean the same thing. I could ask you about size, I could ask you for the dimension, I could ask you for the order. I can use any one of the three of those and it will still mean the same thing. We need a matrix that is M by N, where M is the number of rows and N is the number of columns. Okay, this here is by, okay? It's going back to the X as a multiplication, but it's read by. Okay. Rows are going to be our horizontal lines. And our columns are going to be the vertical lines. So rows left and right, columns up and down. Now I know it's kind of old school, but remember RC Cola, Royal Crown Cola, okay? It's an old competitor of Coke, I guess you could say, before Pepsi, but it's the way that I was taught to remember how to do matrices. RC Cola. The order of a matrix is always rows by columns. RC Cola. Okay. Talk about elements of matrices. An element of matrix A is a number or letter in the matrix. Elements are identified by where they live in the matrix. What is their row? What is their column? And we make little numbers down below. So if you're asked to find A2, 3, you need to find the element in row 2 and in column 3 of A. So let's look at our first example. It says given A, and this is an example of a matrix, they're asking for the order. Remember, our order is always RC column, rows by columns. So let's first count our rows. If we're looking, we have row 1, we have row 2, row 3, and row 4. So we have 4 rows. So 4 rows. We need to figure out how many columns. Starting at the left, working our way to the right, we have column 1, column 2, and column 3, which means that we have 3 columns. And the order, dimension, or size of matrix A is 4 by 3. Notice that I'm using itty-bitty subscripts for R1, R2, R3, R4, and then C1, C2, C3. That's going to come up when we start multiplying. Okay, let's find the following elements. A1, 2 tells us that we need row 1 and we need column 2. So we're looking in row 1 and in column 2. And they overlap at -2. So our answer is -2. -2 is in row 1, column 2. A3-1, we're looking for row 3, column 1, RC cola. So again, we're looking in row 3. We need column 1. So it helps that I already have these labeled with the R's and the C's. But we overlap, if I could have colored this incorrectly, at 1. So our answer is 1. 1 is the element in row 3, column 1. A4-3. A4-3 means we need row 4, column 3. So we go to the 4th row. We need the 3rd column, and we overlap at 12. So the element A43 is the number 12.